In the heart of a golden plain lived a young fox. She was admired for her quick movements, her elegance, and her sharp instincts. From the outside, it looked like she had everything: beauty, speed, and confidence. But life does not spare even the strongest. One morning, as she ran through the tall grass chasing a bird, she stepped into a hidden trap. The sharp metal snapped around her paw, and pain shot through her body. She cried out, struggled, and finally managed to free herself, but the wound was deep. Every step after that burned like fire. The proud fox who once ran with her head high now limped slowly, unsure if she would ever recover. She looked at her reflection in the river and whispered, "How can I keep going if I'm broken?" The days grew longer, the road seemed endless, and doubt pressed heavy on her heart. But in that season of suffering, she discovered 3 simple rules. Rules that would not only heal her, but transform her life forever. The first rule: show up daily. Even though her leg hurt, the fox chose not to disappear. She told herself, "I will not hide. I will rise every morning, no matter how slow I am, no matter how much it hurts." And so she did. At dawn, she would limp out of her den, drag herself through the field, and practice moving forward. Sometimes she crawled more than she walked. Sometimes she barely covered any distance, but she kept showing up. The other animals mocked her. The rabbit laughed, "You will never be fast again." The wolf sneered, "Why waste your time? You should just give up." But the fox ignored them. She knew something they did not. Growth is not made of rare explosions of effort. It is built in the quiet repetition of small actions. It is built in the choice to return again and again, even when progress feels invisible. Over time, her limp grew lighter. Her muscles strengthened, her lungs expanded, and her spirit hardened like iron. She realized that consistency is stronger than intensity. The giant leaps that happen once in a while do not change who we are. It is the small steps, repeated faithfully, that transform our lives. The second rule: turn pain into fuel. At first, the fox hated her wound. Each step was agony. Each scar reminded her of weakness. She wished she could erase the pain, pretend it never happened. But then she looked deeper and asked herself, what if this pain is not here to break me? What if it is here to build me? From that day on, she stopped running from pain. She used it. When her paw throbbed, it reminded her that she had survived. When her scars burned, they reminded her that she was still alive, still moving, still fighting. The pain became her fire. It burned inside her chest and pushed her forward when comfort would have held her back. She learned that pain is not the end of the story. Pain is the beginning of transformation. It can crush us, or it can shape us. It can pull us down, or it can sharpen our focus. We do not choose when pain arrives, but we always choose what we do with it. And the fox chose to turn her pain into strength. The third rule: keep moving forward. There were mornings when the fox could barely lift herself from the ground. Nights when her eyes filled with tears and she thought about stopping forever. Fear whispered, "You will never reach your dreams. You are too broken, too slow, too weak." But the fox remembered her promise. "No matter how small the step, I will not stop." So she moved. Some days she walked, other days she crawled. Sometimes all she could do was take one single step and then rest, but she always moved forward, and that decision, that stubborn choice, created momentum. Every step, no matter how small, was proof that she was still on the journey. Every movement kept her dream alive. She realized something powerful. You do not need to see the entire road ahead. You only need to see the next step. The horizon may be hidden. The destination may seem far. But one step today brings you closer than waiting for tomorrow. Seasons passed. The fox grew stronger. Her wounds healed into scars, and her scars turned into stories. When she looked back at the long road behind her, she could hardly believe the distance she had covered. The same fox who once thought she was finished now stood taller, wiser, and braver than ever before. She finally understood. Growth is not luck. Growth is not magic. Growth is not chance. Growth is a choice. The choice to show up every day, even when you are tired. The choice to turn your pain into fire, even when it hurts. The choice to keep moving forward, even when you feel like giving up. And now let me ask you, what pain almost stopped you, but instead became the reason you grew stronger? What wound have you been hiding when it could become the fire that fuels your journey? What step can you take today, even if it feels small, even if it feels heavy? Think about it. Maybe your progress is invisible now, but invisible does not mean it is not real. Maybe your pain feels unbearable, but unbearable does not mean it cannot become power. Maybe your steps feel slow, but slow does not mean you are not moving. The fox learned that you do not need to be the fastest. You do not need to be the strongest. You only need to keep going, because every small step is proof that you are still alive, still fighting, still growing. So if this story touched your heart, remember, your scars are not signs of weakness. They are medals of survival. Your pain is not the end. It is the beginning. Keep walking, keep breathing, keep moving. And one day, you too will look back and see how far you have come. If this story spoke to you, like the video, subscribe to the channel and share this message with someone you love, because sometimes the words they need most are hidden inside a simple story.